We've been tracking these storms coming out of Winston County right now. Tornado warnings, a couple of them in effect, and one of those goes until 3:45. That's for Winston County, northern Winston County. We also have a tornado warning, new one just issued, that does include the city of Hartselle. It's just south of Decatur, east of Moulton, so this would be extreme southeastern parts of Lawrence County, western or southwestern parts of Morgan County. So we're zooming in a little tighter. Here's I-65 right here. So we've got I-65 coming from Decatur down to Coleman. Here's the area of most concern that includes Speake and Hartselle. Here is the actual storm itself moving north and east. So these storms moving pretty slowly north and east. Typically we deal with storms moving 50, 60, 70 miles per hour. These are not moving quite as fast, at least the entire line is not. The individual cells may be moving a little bit quicker. Let's zoom in a little tighter on this cell, and actually I want to go ahead and see if we can see what the BTI is showing up on this cell right now. And you can see this little red line here. This is the line that shows us what's going on with all of these storms as they move north and east. And you can see right now, shear indicating 69 mile per hour shear. We were seeing a minute ago 161 mile per hour shear, and that's why I actually posted on Facebook that I felt like a tornado warning was going to be issued on this storm. BTI right now is 6.5. That's on a scale of 1 to 10. So 6.5 is significant. It's been as high as 7.5 here in the last little bit. So it's something we'll certainly continue to watch. But that BTI, a good indication that there's at least strong rotation with this storm. This is radar indicated. This is not, so far, has not been confirmed on the ground. Of course, as we get reports in, we'll let you know. But again, if you're basically, and I know there's some folks in Winston County that can see us there, that see us actually on their antenna, also up toward Haleyville. Now, Haleyville, you're out of the threat of this storm. It's basically Double Springs, Barnett Chapel. This is a very, very rural area. This is actually a forested area of northern parts of Winston County. But along U.S. Highway 278, that's included in the warning. This is west of Coleman. Coleman, you are not in this tornado warning at this point, but again, it's moving north and east. Now, the tornado warning has been extended up to the north towards Speake. So basically what we're looking at, this is east of Moulton. Moulton, you're not in the warning, but if you're in this warning area from Speake to Hartselle, basically southwestern Morgan County, Decatur, you need to keep an eye out. This could be extended further into Morgan County here in the next little bit. If you're in any of these areas, I want you to go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Now, something that has been going on all day, and that is the school systems have been letting out early. So there's a good chance that some of the kids in this warning area are already at home. If you're at home and your mom and dad are not there, I want you to go to your safe place, and that may be the interior hallway or bathroom. Get in the tub and get in a room without windows. That's very important. Also, if you have anything you can put on your head, whether it's a bike helmet, something to cover yourself up until this storm passes. And of course, if you have us on television and you're watching us right now, I want you to leave the TV on, turn it up, and go to that safe place so you can still hear. Now, the electricity may go out. We may have some gusty winds with these storms. This is not a major tornado threat at this point, but it is a significant threat, and that's why we want to be sure and let you guys know what's going on. And what we're looking at right now, it's showing right now at least 70 mile per hour wind or shear with this storm. So that's that little area right there. This is between Double Springs and Grayson. This is moving northeast. Again, a very rural area of Winston County. That's the good news. However, there still may be a few folks that have homes in some of these areas, especially as you cross over the county line there into parts of Lawrence County. So you want to keep that in mind. If you're in Double Springs, you're right on the back edge of this tornado warning, just on the back edge. So go ahead and stay indoors until it expires. And again, this tornado warning, I think it expires at 3:45. Is that right, guys? 3:45. So both of these will expire in about 20 minutes. So for the next 20 minutes, I want you to stay in your safe place, wherever that may be in your home. If you have a basement, that's great. Go underground. If you have a storm shelter, you should be heading that way right now and stay for at least the next 20 minutes if you're in any of these areas. These are fairly small polygons, so they're not large areas compared to what we have seen before, but this really includes, it includes State Highway 24 up here heading toward Decatur. It's just on the outside of Moulton and Wren, so you want to just stay weather alert in those areas areas, even though you're not actually in that red warning polygon there. And again, this is a very small area of northern Winston County. These storms today so far have not shown a whole lot of signs of rotation, but we knew as we head into the afternoon and as they shift eastward, they're going to go into higher instability. We've had some time to heat up today, and these storms are intensifying somewhat. It's kind of a broken line of storms. This is the reflectivity that you see right now, and Ari's actually putting a time lapse on this, and you can see those storms as they've already pushed through Double Springs. And Double Springs, I think you're out of the threat right now. I think the tornado threat has pushed just to your north, and you can see these little red lines. These are showing us that there are possible rotation, and that the BTI, it gives us those BTI numbers, or those numbers between 1 and 10 that show us how strong it is, and we're continuing to watch that as it heads north and east. Now, these storms will eventually ride into Madison County, the rest of Morgan County, and into Coleman County. So if you're in those counties, you need to go ahead and just stay weather alert, be prepared to go to a safe place in case these warnings are extended. We have had some severe thunderstorm warnings. So far today, it's been pretty quiet, and we knew that east of I-65 was going to be the biggest threat. It's approaching 65 right now. If you're traveling I-65, you definitely want to, you know somebody who is, they need to get off the road until these storms pass, because you do not want to be in a car when these storms are passing through your area. Here's a look on, this is actually on Storm Force 31 Fast Track. These are all the areas that will be impacted here in the next little bit. So if you are in Speake, Oakville, looks like Neal, Wolftown, Oak Ridge, Flint City, Burning Tree Estates, Burning Tree Mountain, Trinity, Laughlin, all of those communities are going to be impacted here within the next 30 minutes or so. And we may see the warning expire. They may continue the warning. Right now, the rotation has seemed strong enough that it warranted this tornado warning. And so these folks in these areas certainly need to be taking shelter right now. And what we're showing here, we're actually flipping back and forth. Let's go down and zoom in on that area of rotation there. And I want to show you what's happening with this area of rotation. And this is actually looking, I think we're still looking from the Columbus next rad. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so Ari is actually looking at the Columbus next rad. This is the green. This is actually wind going towards the radar. There's the latest updates. The latest update takes it into that area, that polygon that now is into parts of southeastern Lawrence County. And so the green is going toward, the red is going away. This is pretty far from the radar site. In fact, the problem here is it's in between two radar sites. It's in between the high top next rad in Jackson County and the Columbus next rad. So we're looking at the outer edges of this. So this wind is probably pretty high up. But that doesn't mean that there might not be something on the ground, and that's why there's a tornado warning that has been issued. Now, we're continuing to monitor NWS chat for these storms as well, and monitoring social media right now. What I'm going to do is step out, and whoever's monitoring NWS chat, are we getting any information on this right now?
Nope, nothing just yet. Just the tornado warning from our friends at NWS Huntsville, and that's all we have for you, Spencer.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now is we're looking at just basically a radar indicated tornado. There's been nothing reported with this cell right now. Now, Ari is actually going to continue to look at the dual pole data. That's kind of the more intricate, the more technological stuff. And Ari, have you had a chance to look at that just yet?
Yeah, I have looked at it a little bit, and we haven't seen anything that would indicate tornado debris. Basically, what we'd be doing is looking at this area of rotation, kind of circling it there with the black, and then we'd look at a product called correlation coefficient, and basically the bottom line is if we had tornado debris that was showing up on radar, you would see some greens and blues in there. We don't see that right now, but that's no reason to not take the storm seriously, because it has to be on the ground for a while already before you would even see that anyway. So Samantha's got something new now.
Yeah, this is from NWS chat, Spencer. Skywarn spotter Douglas S. Hilton reporting that we've got ham spotter reports of 50-mile-an-hour winds, BB-sized hail, so some small hail, and then also some heavy rain 6 miles to the east of Addison. So this tornado not confirmed just yet.
I wonder if that is baseball or is that Small Hill?
It's BB dash
Okay.
size.
So maybe some Small Hill with that storm as it continues to push off to the northeast.
Hey, we're going to take a look at the Coleman Skycam real quick and see if we can see anything.
Okay. So what they're showing here, this is the Coleman Skycam. This is actually looking to the south right now, I believe, and I don't know that we can control this camera. That's looking off to the south, and you can see those ominous clouds there. Here's the Decatur cam, and we're looking basically at the belt line in Decatur. Temperatures there in the low 70s, and you folks in Decatur need to stay on weather alert because we could be seeing these storms roll into your area here very shortly. In fact, the storms are on the western side of town. Mary's got some more information for us right now.
Just in a severe thunderstorm warning, Spencer, issued for Coleman County until 4 o'clock, and Ari's going to zoom in here on Fast Track and show you locations impacted, including Smith Lake, Vinemont, and West Point. Also, Interstate 65 between exits 308 and 318. Doppler radar indicating some weak rotation with this storm. Not immediately likely, but if a tornado is spotted, of course, wanting you to go to your safe spot in Coleman County.
All right, thanks a lot, Samantha. And what we're looking at here, it looks like they've expired the warning for northern parts of Winston County. So Winston County, you're in the clear. If you were listening to me a minute ago there in Winston County, from Double Springs off to the north, you're all clear at this point. You can come out of your safe place, but we're still watching this area basically from Hartselle all the way down into southeastern parts of Lawrence County. This does not include the city of Moulton. Doesn't include the city of Moulton right now. That does not mean that you don't need to be prepared just in case. This is going to slide just to your south and east. So it's basically pushing north and east, about to go through Speake right now. If you're in Speake, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. You need to be in your safe place and wait until we give you the all clear there in the community of Speake. What we're looking at here is US Highway 31. This parallels I-65. So if any folks are traveling in these areas, they need to go ahead and get off the roads until this storm passes. But US Highway 31, if you're on that, coming down into Hartselle, if you're in the city of Hartselle, you need to be taking tornado precautions right now. That's a pretty big community. A lot of folks live there, some neighborhoods, some businesses there right along I-65, and so certainly want to be prepared. The warning, the actual northern edge of the warning extends almost to Decatur. And so this could be extended. You can see they're actually adjusting the polygon now. So they've taken a little piece off the southern end of it. And so now what we've got is this area right here between, it's basically almost a triangle in between Hartselle, Moulton, and parts of northern Winston County on the county line. Let's see what else we've got out there. More information coming in. Mary?
I'm going to switch over to Fast Track for just a second. Just Ari, I think, wants to show you guys something.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you exactly where this rotation is and just kind of start off with a bigger view so you can see where this is we're talking about. Again, this is basically Bankhead National Forest into southeastern Lawrence County, and this is going to be moving into Morgan County very soon. This is an intense rotation, and I have been looking at some of the dual pole data, and I can tell you that I have not seen any debris signatures as of yet. Let me just double check that. Nope. Still nothing. It's just a very intense rotation, but that is a serious-looking rotation. That's one we definitely want to take seriously if you live anywhere in southeastern portions of Lawrence County, eastern Lawrence County, or basically anywhere in southwestern or central parts of Morgan County. And this looks like it's headed pretty much right toward Hartselle, and if it does end up getting its act together and ramping up and maybe ending up producing a tornado at some point, that's going to be headed toward a pretty populated area. So we do want you to take your tornado precautions if you live in Hartselle right now.
And Ari, I don't know if, can you pixel query those, the green and the red on that, and let's just show what type of wind we're seeing here. It is. Oh, it looks like the update just came in there, so it's moved off to the north and east. And if you can label any of these, if any of these roads can be labeled through here, we're basically southeast of Wren right now. So we're looking at just southeast. Here's the edge of the tornado warning, and we've got some skits popping up. These are actually shear markers or shear skits that are showing us what's going on. Here's State Highway 36. State Highway 157, this is going to cross right over the intersection of these two areas, and what we're looking at is basically a little bit of a tight rotation, but it's pretty far away from the radar, so I'm not so sure that this may be reaching the ground. This may be more of a radar indicated tornado than what we're seeing on the ground. However, here's the rotation. So green is actually going toward the radar. We're still using Columbus, right?
We were just on high top. I just switched it over to Columbus. It shows up a little bit better.
Okay, so we're going green toward the radar. The radar is down to the south and west. Red is away. We basically got 37 mile per hour inbound winds, outbounds going 40 miles per hour. So you put those two together, and that's close to 80 mile per hour shear with this storm. And these are the couplet is basically these little pixels right here. So we're actually watching this particular area that's about to cross over. So if you're at Highway 157 right now, here's we've got State Highway 157 going off to the north. State Highway 36 is here. So basically we're talking about a path that's going to go just like this and continue on to the north and east. Now again, these are not highly populated areas, but they're areas that a lot of folks, we still have people that live there. We want to make sure that you're taking those tornado precautions. If we actually put a track on this, it's going to come very close to the city of Hartselle. If we track this out all the way through northern Morgan County, it will continue to track off to the north and to the east. Look at this. This is on our WAAY-31 tracker right now, and here's some of the areas that will be impacted. So if you look at this, Piney Grove here in about 9 minutes. Speak, again, you're under the gun as we continue to push off to the north and east with this storm. Danville, Pumpkin Center, and Neal. These are all communities that will be impacted with this cell that does show signs of rotation, albeit some upper level rotation, but still something that we want to warn folks about. This tornado warning continues until 3:45 p.m. Now, there's not been any indication if they're going to extend this warning toward Decatur, Athens, or Huntsville. So the storms are already in Athens. These are not actually being warned for right now. There is a severe thunderstorm warning now for portions of northwest Coleman County. Also a bigger severe thunderstorm warning that includes the city of Decatur, but the actual tornado warning is within that. So we have some more information coming in. Let's head over to Samantha.
Yes, Spencer, this just in via NWS chat, scanner report via Twitter that we had a tornado touchdown on County Road 45 in Winston County with maybe some structural damage and possible injuries. Again, this was just put into our NWS chat.
Okay, so and say where was that at again?
In Winston County on County Road 45.
Okay, so that was actually where the strongest rotation was being reported in Winston County earlier before these warnings were actually issued. So, but right now we're on the air. We're here on WAAY-31 as we approach 3:40, and we're looking at a tornado warning that continues until 3:45, including the city of Hartselle and areas just south and west of Decatur, southeastern Lawrence, western or southwestern Morgan County, and this is moving off to the north and east. So if you're within this little area here in the streets that we've mentioned, you need to be taking tornado precautions right now. You need to be in your safe place. You need to be in a basement or in an interior room, whether it's in your bathroom with no windows. You just need to go ahead and head over to that safe place. Here's Decatur right now. Lots of rain and storms moving through the city of Decatur, but again, nothing warned on those storms. This is actually, I believe this is looking off to that's the west. Okay, so we're looking off to the west right now. The thing that concerns us most is the dew points right now are in the mid-60s, and that's certainly sufficient for severe weather and for tornadoes. So until these storms pass by and until those dew points go down, there will be a threat, especially east of this area, for any kind of active tornadic weather or damaging winds. Now we're looking at the shear marker on this storm right now, still showing shear of 81 miles per hour. That's very close to what we just showed you. Ari just showed, he actually showed the numbers of the outbound and the inbound winds, and it's showing a BTI of only 3.7. That's good news. That means that this is a low-end threat for a tornado. Between 1 and 10 is what we're looking for, and the higher you get, especially up to 7, 8, 9, and 10, that's when we get very concerned that there might be a tornado on the ground. But the BTI, pretty low on this storm, so we're really not too concerned. Now, it is on the outer edges of that. We're looking at the outer edges of Columbus next rad. Okay, so we're looking up pretty high in this storm, as the beam does go up. So we'll continue to watch this, and we'll probably switch over to high top here pretty soon to follow it. So we've got a new warning coming out right now. It looks like they've extended the tornado warning.
Yeah,
Samantha?
Spencer, they're going to go ahead and extend that for northwestern Morgan County, southeastern Limestone County, and southeastern Lawrence County as well. That's a tornado warning in effect for these areas until 4:15. So that's going to include Decatur, Hartselle, Trinity, Priceville, Flint City, and Mooresville as well. Probably time to head to that safe spot.
Okay, so the tornado warning has been extended. And what time did you say one more time?
4:15.
4:15. So now we are going until 4:15 at least, or at least until they cancel this tornado warning. Tornado warnings will continue until 4:15. Includes, as she said, the city of Decatur. So if you're in the River City right now, you need to be taking tornado precautions immediately. So anywhere from Hartselle to Decatur, all the way up, this includes portions of 565 up to the Madison County, Morgan County state line. So where you get on 565 and where you basically go and start to go west of 565 and you head into the city of Decatur on the River Bridge. I can't stress enough, if you are on that bridge going over Decatur, over the Tennessee River, if you are out in Decatur driving around and you can hear us, and I don't know if we're on Light 96.9 yet or not, but I want to tell you folks, or if you know somebody that's out driving, they need to pull over and seek shelter, because you do not want to be in a vehicle while these storms are passing you by. Again, we didn't see a huge threat for a tornado based on the last couple of looks that we've had at these storms, but we're still concerned that there might be a possible tornado, and so we do want to take those precautions. And I know, Ari, have you still been looking at some of that dual pole data there to see if you see anything?
It's always a good idea to take a peek at that. Actually, I've been driving here, so I haven't had too close of a peek at it, but we can check very quickly.
Yeah, go ahead and take a look.
I don't see any debris showing up on the radar, but as Samantha said, we did have a report, at least via scanner, of a tornado touchdown a little bit earlier on County Road 45 in Winston County as this storm came out of there. So it's definitely a storm we have to take seriously. And you've also got to factor in the history of the storm system, too. It did produce some tornadoes yesterday. It already produced one pretty violent, apparent long-track tornado in eastern Mississippi along this line. Now, it's not quite as unstable up here as it is down there, but still, it's a storm system that definitely has been producing a lot of rotating storms, and we want to take every tornado warning today seriously for sure.
Okay.
And two, let's just switch over really quickly to Viper so that folks at home can really get an idea of where this storm is actually headed. We'll put up some street names here. We're looking at County Line Road, I believe, right here, Old Railroad Bed, north on 65 as well as 565, U.S. Highway 72, especially in the Athens area, and of course in the Harvest area as well. So just to give folks kind of a reference point of exactly where we're looking at. And Light 96.9 is actually on right now.
Good deal. So here's what I want to stress right now. If you are listening to us on Light 96.9, and you could be listening to us in Madison County, Morgan County, down into portions of Coleman County, or over into Limestone County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. If you are in the car, if you're in a vehicle, and you are located anywhere along 565, I-65, the city of Decatur, if you're in Trinity, Priceville, any of these areas, I want you to go ahead and pull over and seek shelter right now. You do not want to be in a car when a tornadic storm is headed your way, because that is the worst place to be in this kind of situation. So if you're listening to us right now, we're streaming live on Light 96.9. I want you to go ahead and take those tornado precautions right now. Samantha has some more information for us.
Yeah, this also just into NWS chat, Spencer. A possible tornado sighted in northwestern Morgan County along Highway 20 near the Nature Preserve. This was via a spotter.
All right, let's see if we can zoom into Highway 20, Ari, and get a closer in view on this particular cell. That was, and where was that near again?
Near the Nature Preserve along Highway 20.
Okay, so basically in any of these areas that you're, basically if you're anywhere from Tanner to Decatur all the way down to Hartselle, You need to be taking, if you're at Ben Davis Elementary School, you know, we've had, all the schools have let out, but we may still have some administrators at some of the schools. If you're in any of these schools in Decatur, you need to go ahead and take tornado precautions, go to an interior hallway right now. Go ahead, Samantha.
This one's also from NWS Chat. East Upper River Road between Somerville and Priceville. That's off of 67. We have a train spotter reporting a visible wall cloud.
Okay, so basically that spotter is probably sitting somewhere around here looking off to the north, and we're looking at this area up here in the Decatur area. That's what they're looking at as that cell has been, and they may also be looking down to the south and to the west. Now, Ari, let's see if we can look at the rotation on this storm at the velocity, because I'm concerned it's a little bit hard to tell in reflectivity. There we go. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right here. Here's what we're looking at, and are we on...
This is fast track.
Okay, we're on fast track. Is this looking from high top now?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking from high top right now. These are winds going toward the radar, winds going away from the radar in the red. He's just shown us the BTI. It's still only 3.8, so that's good news that it's a lower number, but still something we want to take seriously because it's showing over 80-mile-per-hour shear with this storm, and we're getting reports now of funnel clouds and a possible tornado, and that would be just due west of Hartselle, moving northeast. This is going to move northeast of Decatur, of the city of Decatur. It's actually moved southeast of the city of Decatur, moving, the individual storm is moving off to the northeast. Here's some of the areas that are going to be impacted here in the next 15 minutes or so. These are some of the smaller communities that we're watching. Basham, Georgia, Valley View, Oak Ridge. If you're in Longleaf Estates, Russell Village, Cedar Lake, Burning Tree Mountain, any of these areas, you need to be taking your tornado precautions right now. Again, this is the area that we're watching right here, this area of rotation that's going, basically going clockwise or counterclockwise. It's actually going clockwise, and we're watching this system move off to the north and east. And here's some of the highways that Ari's mentioned. We're talking about U.S. Highway 31, also I-65. So U.S. Highway 31 and I-65. And I remember I'm still on there with WRSA, Light 96.9. I know you folks are listening to us right now on the radio, so I want to make sure and speak directly to you. I know you can't see what we're looking at. So we're talking about I-65 between the city of Decatur and basically Hartselle. If you're in that area, if you're on the interstate, I want you to either pull over or I want you to seek shelter somewhere, because you do not want to be driving as this storm pushes in on I-65. Again, if you're in any of these areas, and I know we've got another warning coming out here, I can hear it on the printer, but this does not include Athens, Capshaw, or Harvest, Meridianville, or Huntsville. However, this could be extended. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, this is a tornado warning for southeastern Lawrence County, and that's actually canceled, is what they're saying. The tornadic thunderstorm which prompted the warning has moved out of Lawrence County, therefore the warning has been canceled. So
okay,
that's definitely
so what they're saying then is this area right here, the area of Speake, Moulton, Wren, go ahead, you're all clear. You can come out of your safe place at this point. Tornado warning has expired. We're continuing, though, for the tornado warning now into Morgan County, approaching Madison County. Go ahead, Samantha. I
just want to let you know really quickly that if you're not by a TV, maybe you're catching us on the radar. We're also being streamed live to ESPN Radio 977 The Zone, so you can catch us on there as well.
Okay, good news. So we're on 97.7 The Zone, and also WRSA Light 96.9 streaming live with a continuous tornado coverage here on WAAY-31. As we approach the 4 o'clock hour, we usually start our newscast at 4 o'clock. We will continue until these storms have passed. The tornado warnings continue now. Again, if you're on I-65, if you're on 565 coming from Huntsville International Airport, in fact, this warning is on the line of the airport there. So a lot of the folks there at Huntsville International need to be prepared in case this storm approaches you. This is approaching a very populated area, so we want to make sure that everyone knows to go ahead and take your safety precautions right now. Take those tornado precautions. Go to your basement. Go to the center of your home. Just be sure that you are in the right place right now to avoid any debris if this tornado is on the ground. Go ahead, Samantha.
Getting some more reports in from spotters. The fairly good report of a funnel cloud west of Hartselle, and National Weather Service Huntsville confirming that that would seem a little bit more accurate than the first two initial reports that we got in based on radar and storm configuration. So again, that is a good report of a funnel cloud west of Hartselle from the Hartselle Police Department and from spotters as well.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Ari, if you want to, do you want to take a look at some of the, I know we haven't really seen any debris at this point on these storms, but we still see anything in the dual pole stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea to check here. Let's switch over to Fast Track real quick, if we can. And we're going to start off here with the velocity data. I'm just going to circle the main area of rotation. Then we're going to go look and see if there's anything that looks green or blue inside there, and there's not. So we don't see any debris flying around in that storm right now, but we've had multiple reports of either wall clouds or funnel clouds, and even a report of a tornado earlier, a brief touchdown in Winston County from this storm. So it's one that we have to take seriously, and this is a product called the Barron button, and it basically will just show hail in purple colors and shear in the reds and yellows, and it just makes it really simple to see. And you can see that the radar's picking up shear that's over 80 miles an hour. So even if there's not actually a tornado on the ground here, this is a very dangerous storm. It's about to cross U.S. Highway 31 between Flint City and Hartselle, and then eventually it'll head up toward areas just west of Somerville as well. Eventually it'll be up around the Tennessee River, up around Swancott. But of immediate concern, Flint City, if you live there, you need to take your tornado precautions right now.
Yeah. Spencer?
Yes.
Tornado warning is going to continue. This one from the one for Limestone and Morgan County is continuing until 4:15. Again, the trained weather spotters reporting the funnel cloud. National Weather Service saying, you know, a tornado may develop at any time. It's a very dangerous storm. So those in the areas of Hartselle, Decatur, Priceville, Flint City, Mooresville, and the Interstate 65 and 565 interchange.
Okay, so we're still watching, and if you guys will give me a second here, I'm actually, I have some folks at my house that I want to warn because these storms are now heading into parts of Madison County, so I'm actually sending them a text to make sure to take precautions.
Also, just about all of Limestone County is under a flash flood warning right now, so just if you see any ponding water on roadways, never drive through it. That's basically what you need to know there. I took the flash flood warning off of the screen here just so it wouldn't look too cluttered, and we can really focus on the tornado warning coming up through northwestern Morgan County, about to cross the Tennessee River, Flint City and Decatur. If you live in either of those towns, you need to take your tornado precautions right now because this is a very dangerous storm. We do not have a confirmed tornado on the ground right now, but we do have multiple reports of wall clouds from spotters, some rotation, visible rotation at the base of the storm, and we even had a report earlier, at least a report via scanner, of a brief touchdown from this storm in Winston County. But as I mentioned, even though we don't have any confirmation of a tornado on the ground right now, definitely a storm we want to take seriously because it is a very strong one, and it's rotating, and it could drop a tornado at any point.
And if it's okay, let's go ahead and, if it's okay, zoom out and just give the folks that are out ahead of this system just an idea of exactly where they are in reference to the storm that we're actually referring to. And maybe, Ari, if you could just throw a few roads up there,
Sure. Good idea.
just so they know.
Yeah, this is basically south of 565. Again, it's south of the Tennessee River right now, western Morgan County. It's about to cross the Tennessee River, though, I would say within the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. But if you live in Lawrence County, you're safe, 72 alternate, and then this is State Highway 24 here. Anywhere between Moulton and Decatur along State Highway 24, you're safe. But especially if you live on the southern and eastern sides of the city of Decatur, you really need to take your tornado precautions right now. And I believe that storm on the last scan just updated, and it's likely moving into Flint City literally as we speak. So hope you're in your safe place right now.
All right, good deal. So let's kind of go over exactly what they've been talking about. This tornado warning continues, and we're still showing right now there is a good chance of hail with this storm. So we've had some reports of some small hail, so don't be surprised if you hear hail hitting outside. The BTI is still down at 3.7, and we're looking at right here is Flint City, here's Decatur, here's I-65, here is 565. This goes all the way up to the Tanner community just north of Hartselle and continues to track off to the north and east. Here's some of the areas that are being impacted or will be impacted here in the next 10 minutes. Flint City, of course, Austinville, Russell Village. We're looking at Cedar Lake, also Bayside, Fairview, Crowtown, Hickory Hills, and of course Priceville. They're right along I-65 as this storm continues to track. And if this storm holds together, we want to look a little bit further ahead. If this storm holds together, it's going to take it into central Madison County and take it into the 565 corridor. And you know what? We're approaching the drive time hour, and we're approaching the drive home. Folks already probably starting to head home between 4 and 6 o'clock. So this gets a little sketchy when we're talking about tornado warnings and a lot of people on the roads. I can hear the thunder out there right now here at WAAY-31 on Montesano. But basically what we're looking at is this storm, if it keeps on this path, it will actually head right across 565, right across Highway 72, and it will actually come very close to the city of Madison. And so even though the tornado warning is not in your area, Capshaw, it's not in your area yet, I do want you to be prepared to take your tornado precautions because we could see a touchdown with this cell at any point in time as it continues to track off to the north and to the east. So again, if you're in Hartselle, you're right on the edge of it. Decatur, you're right in the polygon warning area, so you want to take your tornado precautions. If you're in Falkville, Speak, you're in all clear for you. It's over. It's moved off to the north and east, so we don't have to worry about anything there. Let's actually zoom in and let's see if we can kind of pinpoint some more communities and also show some of the streets, the individual streets that are being impacted. We know we're talking about 565 and I-65. The storm is down to the south and west. Here's Ben Davis Elementary School here, State Highway 67 just to the south of there. We're looking at US 72 alternate. This is Mooresville. You're right in the middle of that polygon. And we're also looking at the airport there in Decatur and in Morgan County. So we also, and I think we have a lot of our readings. We actually have a sensor, a METAR that's out there. So we'll get wind reports as this comes over. But again, we're looking at Decatur and then down to the south. And let's actually, let's see if we can zoom in or zoom down to the south and west a little bit and find that actual area of rotation. And let's start zooming in on that area and start labeling some streets in that particular region, because what we're looking at, we want to see the actual the velocity, and that's what we're looking at right there. We're looking at the velocity from this cell right around the Flint City community. I was 67, and actually we just had a lightning strike here, and a lot of our computers went down. I just lost my complete video here.
We're okay over here.
Yeah.
I think you just lost the feed.
It's interesting because all the computers, the computers are all working.
Okay. So let's see if we can.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're looking at the tower cam right now. I actually just lost. We had a lightning strike just hit the tower. We've got the tower right beside the station here, and it looks like we took a hit. So what we're looking at, this is our tower cam looking off to the west. This is a good view of those storms as they're pushing into Madison County. Those tornado warnings just off to our west, and it's kind of hard to see here, but what you're looking at here, and I think, let me see if I can step back. If we can pan this down to the left just a little bit, if we can pan that way, there we go, there we go. That's better, right there, right there. So we're looking at, here is 565. Can hardly see it. There's the Space and Rocket Center of Saturn V, and so what we're looking at, here's downtown Huntsville Hospital, and we're looking off to the west at this whole structure of storms that continues to push in from the west, and it looks like these storms, as they approach Madison County, could become tornadic. We're not really sure at this point if we're going to see these storms. And there we go. We've got it back now. Okay.
Excellent.
So here we go. I can actually see what I'm looking at, and so these are the storms that are popping up and heading towards Huntsville. Here's the rotation. And it still looks like some pretty strong rotation on radar, at least as far as it's kind of a broader area of rotation that's heading off to the north and east. So let's see if we can zoom in to this activity, and we'll actually put some markers on here to show the winds. That looks like it's probably pretty strong winds heading out. There's Rolling Hills and Bayside, some communities that are being impacted right now. And so we've got 46 mile per hour inbound winds, over 28 mile per hour outbound winds. This is a fairly weak rotation in terms of, is this a strong tornado on the ground? Probably not, but it's something that we certainly want to be concerned about. These are upper level wind, or at least in the upper levels as opposed to the surface. It's not right at the surface. So, but here's all the areas it's approaching right now. Eastwood Elementary School, Rockhouse Landing, Mooresville. Here's Calhoun Community College up here to the north, Decatur Junction, the entire city of Decatur. So if you're in these areas, you still need to be taking your tornado precautions. I believe this goes until 4:15. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay, so 4:15.